All right, everybody, let's go, Jared. Come on, buddy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. How's everybody doing today? Day 11, people. Day 11. Bro, we're almost halfway through of this challenge, this 30-day challenge. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Get some head. We're going to 100 plus heads. I don't really know where we're at with the heads. How many have we done? How many have you done? We got to check that in. I got to total that up today. Okay? But first of all, I am glad you are here. I'm glad you're here. Are you glad to be here? I hope you are, because what I want you to do is really find these videos as like a little bit of a spark. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit of a relaxation or a little bit of a positive spark to really kind of, you know, influence your day to get it on a better footing in the best direction. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, well, I don't really do art, Ray, so I don't really watch what you do. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. But everybody should be watching this because we're talking about philosophy, okay? Art is just my vehicle, people. It's just the vehicle that I happen to have been blessed with. It chose me. I didn't choose it. Maybe if I was like Presby, bro, I'd be a musician, you know, or like Ryan Harkness, I'd be, you know, musically inclined, but I'm not. I wish I was. Hell, I tried to learn how to play the guitar for a summer or two, even had me a Telecaster and everything, you know. Just didn't work out for me, you know. So I stuck with the drawing because that was my passion. That's what I'm drawn to. Maybe you're a mechanic or a baker. Maybe you're a farmer. Maybe you're a seamstress. Maybe that, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just unplug the art and put in whatever it is that you're passionate about. Now I got to ask you a question. If you tell me you're not passionate about anything, I got to ask you something. Check that pulse. Are you still alive? Are you alive in there? What are you living for? Right? Start asking these questions, and without a doubt, the answer you're going to come to is you're going to come to some trauma, okay? Some trauma that you've incurred, all right, that has caused you to seal off your personality, you know what I'm saying, so that you can't feel, okay? So you got some digging to do, buddy. If you ain't got no passion, you got a digging to do because you're living as a half a human being right now, locked in a cage that you didn't put yourself in, but you're keeping yourself in, right? Remember, the strategies we use to survive our childhood enslave us as adults. Think about that. That's heavy, right? So check in right now. How you doing? Is your fire stoked? Are you stoked? Is your, got that critical eye locked in the basement? You know, you got to use that impulse control to keep him down. So you just don't start blabbering toxicity and like assassinating all your fucking relationships, burning down your bridges. Now, some bridges are meant to be burnt down, you know. May the fire of the bridges I burn light the way to the future. Thus and so saith the Lord, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But some of them ain't. You know, you can't be an island unto yourself. I'm throwing a lot of cliches and analogies at you. I hope you're catching them. Maybe a couple of them are sticking to the wall. I don't know. But use that critical eye, impulse control to control that critical eye so that you can maintain the quality relationships you want to keep in your life. That's very important, okay? And then finally, let's check in on our schedule. Are you getting that 30 minutes in? Are you able to, you know, impress your desire, your intent upon your day? Or are you living a reactionary life where the day is just dragging you all around everywhere? You know, all you're doing is putting out fires for other people and solving other people's problems. At the end of the day, you sit down to a nice big fat shit sandwich. Is that what you're doing? I hope not. But check in and be honest with yourself. Remember, we made that agreement of truth. Remember that? couple weeks ago where we agreed that we weren't going to lie to ourselves, okay? Because by lying to ourselves, it just puts us in that fucking ditch in the side of the road where other people come by and they drop off all their shit sandwiches on us. And that's all we deal with is shit sandwiches. And I, for one, am tired of the taste of shit, okay? So, we ain't in India, so come on, people. Let's get rid of that shit sandwiches, all right? So make sure your schedule is together and it's going the direction you want it to go so that your life ends up where you want it to end up with, you know. We don't want to be on that deathbed full of regrets and whatnot, you know, chewing and grinding our teeth in angst, you know. Forget that, people. We don't want that. We want to be excited. We want to be pumped up. We want to end up where we want to end up, and we want to become a tree of life that our whole family can gather underneath for a rest and relaxation, okay? Think about how good it would feel if you were a grandmother or grandfather and you said, you know what, this Christmas, I'm taking everybody in the family, all expense paid, on old granddad or grandma to Hawaii for 2 weeks for Christmas. Think about that. Put yourself in that mental position where you're the one and you're paying for it and you're taking everybody you love, all expense paid trip to Hawaii, the Hilton Hawaii, all inclusive. Get as drunk on them beautiful pina coladas, beautiful lava flows. I don't know if you haven't had one. Oh my God, so good. And then go out and enjoy Hawaii, and you'll find out what that feels like and what that's all about. That's passion, that's love, that's excitement. So let's all get there, shall we? Let's all go to Hawaii. Let's all meet up there this Christmas season and just have a big old cookout and open bar party, you know. And if you do, you get drunk and you pass out. Don't worry, we're not gonna, you know, rummage through your wallet. We're not gonna steal your money. We're gonna be like family. We're gonna take care of you. We're gonna make sure you get back to your hotel room safe and sound, everything intact, and you can wake up the next morning wondering what the hell happened, but so glad you're part of this community. That's what it's all about, okay? Now, I wanted to say, speaking of that, I did a couple of banger cartoons this weekend, okay, doing my heads, and here's one of them, all right? Now that's about old Sean, Psycho Sean. Schizo Sean. He might be psycho too. I don't know. Now, I met him in real life. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I met him in real life. He's a super nice person. Not a mean bone in his body, but he went off and did something somewhere, and the people took advantage of him. You know, he paid to go and participate in their event, and they took advantage of him. Can you believe that? That is not what we're all about here. Don't like that at all. So I made that cartoon to kind of rib them a little bit. All right. And then if y'all didn't see last night, holy moly, we had this happen. We had old Vito show up on EVS's live stream. Nice surprise. And the old drama came down. Dick Masterson showed up. The whole thing. It went wild. It's all over the place. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, go watch it because it is some entertaining piece of media. I loved it. EVS did great orchestrating the whole thing and keeping his damn mouth shut. You know, he knows when to keep his mouth shut. When you let these two gladiators fight it out and create all the drama and entertainment for you. Fucking love it. And all those people who say, oh, I don't like drama. Let's get back to the comics. What do you think comics are, people? Comics are a book based upon drama, where it's hyperbolic drama, where the superheroes have world galaxy ending fights and all this kind of stuff. That's super drama, where the evil people are super evil. I mean, like Red Skull, he's just skull on top of a body running around, you know? I mean, it's super drama. What are you talking about? Oh, we're just about the comics around here. Oh, comics are drama. This whole thing is the same damn flavor. It's just a real life drama, okay? I'm sorry if you don't have the interpersonal skills to resolve conflict effectively and you shy away from it because you're afraid of it. Get over that shit. What is it? Alpha male, beta male? Just be a male, man. Come on. Just be a male. All right? Drama happens. We go through it. We ride the waves. Whitewater rafting. That's why it's fun and entertaining. So get over it. Enjoy the cartoons. I'm going to keep going. Dick, you keep doing you. Vito, you keep doing you. And I'll keep laughing about it. Okay? Let's go. All right. So we got that out of the way. Great. The other thing too is I did a pastrami video yesterday, people. I made the pastrami, right? So go watch that video if you haven't seen it, man. Get them numbers up. I need some subs. I need to get up. I need to get this thing so that it can get higher and higher and more monetized and out to other people. It helps me when I go and I say, hey, I want to interview such so-and-so. And they look at my channel and they say, oh, he only got 200 subs. They don't want to interview. Now, what if I had more? They want to interview. I want to get them on. So we want to do that. We want to get interesting people on so that we can interview them. And the sub thing is it's part of it. It's like a little resume where they look down and they say, oh, this guy, this motherfucker, he only got 2 subs. Well, bitch, I need more subs, and I'm a little firecracker, and I'm coming for you. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I want to get them on the show, and that's what we want to do. We want to get all these people on the show and talk to them about creativity. Changing your life through creativity. We want to create a lasting conversation that anybody can come at any time in the future and watch these videos, and it'll resonate with them, and they'll think, you know what, that's what I want to do. I want to change my life through creativity, something I'm passionate about. That's what this is all about, okay? That's why I'm making the videos. Let's go, people. Come on. All right. So I made that recipe for the brisket, and I'm making pickles or pickled vegetables or whatever. So if you have any recipes for pickles or pickled vegetables, or you have a favorite one, put it in the comments or DM me on X or post it, tag me on X or whatever, however all this crazy stuff works, but get it to me because I want to make it. Because in 2 or 3 weeks when we get that pastrami done, I want to have a whole lineup of pickles that other people have recommended so we can have a taste test and see which one's the best, which one's the worst. And guess what? If you win, I'm going to send you a prize. That's how all this works, people. Good behavior gets rewarded. All right, so let's go. Send me some damn pickles. I already got some from Presby, bro. He's got 2 really good entries. We're going to go with those. Going to make those. They're going to be fantastic. So shout out to Presby, bro. I appreciate it. And thank you, sir. All right, thank you kindly. Now, one other thing before we really get down and dirty. I know James is breathing down my neck. He sent me a couple of videos. I just haven't downloaded them. I'm trying to set up some new software and all that. I'm sorry, okay? I'm going to download them. I'm going to put them on the video. So he's out there yelling at me about my timing and all that. So I'm trying to compress this. Plus, I ain't going to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. So let's get this shit going. All right, so we got one thing solemn to talk about. We got Papa Canales. We had just interviewed with him a couple of weeks ago. Well, his dad's going in the hospital, get some heart surgery. So send him your love and prayers. And we're, Papa Canales, we're pulling for you. We want you to wake up safe and sound so that you can get out there and kickbox some more of that life, okay? So we're sending you love and prayers. So if you send Ebi a little note, that'd be appreciated. Just let him know that we're thinking about him and his dad as he's getting ready to go in for surgery tomorrow, which is probably going to be sometime in midnight or 2 o'clock my time, since they're like 8 or 9 hours ahead of us here on the West Coast. He's in Spain, northern Spain over there, getting it done. So we'll just go ahead and send him some love and prayers. So that's where we're at with that. Okay. Now, people, what I'm going to do now is we're going to flip through. I have already got my what I'm going to talk about today, and this is going to be a doozy. Now, we are on day 11, people, so we're getting towards the halfway point. Now, what I'm going to talk about here is I'm going to give you the process or the tools in order to make any kind of head you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to move on past the cartoon phase, and we're going to start to move on and refine it. I got my Sharpies right here. Refine our process to start to go into the more realistic comic book or realism phase, okay? Now, I got it all laid out right here. I own pencils. I don't want to waste your time, but I did each step, okay? These are 3 steps right here. So we got the box step of the head right here, the simplified box. And then on top of that, you put the simple facets of the face or the form of the face. And then beyond that, you put the anatomic shapes, okay? So up here, we did a normal head. Down here, we did some sort of insect, like an ant, maybe a praying mantis, I don't know. But with this process, you can draw anything you want to draw, people. And it's very simple, and you can draw it in 3D space. And it's all it is, basically, is using cubes, okay? And that's why it's so exciting. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come down here, and we're going to get started, okay? Now, First stage is the box stage, okay? So what this is telling you is I'm redrawing this thing 3 times in my mind, okay? So first I start out with the box, right? We got the box right here, boom, no problem. We cut it in half, got the box, cut it in half, cut it in half, cut it in half, cut it in half. That's the eye line, the nose line, the mouth line, okay? Then we follow the eye line and the nose line, cut this in half and add an ear. Boom. Look, we're already doing it, we're already there. And this is just, and then we're throwing a neck in here. It's just a little cylinder, okay? So that's what I'm looking at when I'm thinking initially, okay? We want to go ahead and do our little arrow because we're going to go to the next stage, okay? Yay, arrow. And this is the simple facets. Simple facets. Now you're thinking, Ray, what's a facet? Well, a facet is like when you look at a diamond, each side of the diamond is a facet, okay? Or if you look at like a sphere, but you think about it as if it were a box with a whole bunch of just smooth planes, those are facets. A really good example of that is like a disco ball. Look at a disco ball. It has a whole bunch of little, like, you know, flat planes, and those are, each one of those planes is a facet that when you put them all together, they make that sphere, okay, people? So then we've got our box. Now in this one, we're gonna use the box. We already laid in the box. We're gonna go ahead and change it to the simple facets of the face, okay? So you got the nose facet, boop, boop, boop. And you gotta make them noises, because them noises help you draw better. And then you got the cheek, boop, boop, all the way down, boop. Let me go ahead and pull this down so you guys can see it. All the way down, boop, boop. This goes back to the ear, to the jaw, like so, to the top of the head. We'll just keep this nice and cubical. All right, there's the ear and then the neck. All right. So that's not too bad, right? So those are the facets of the face, okay? Now, if you want to learn more about facets of the face, you know, they're all the same shape, and once you learn those shapes, you don't ever have to learn them again, okay? Because you got them memorized, all right? Now, it's no big deal. We'll go over that more later, but I'm just saying the process, the 3-step process to go and to make a drawing is what's important here, okay? So the process is the machine. Learning the shapes are the variables inside of that machine, okay? It's like the gasoline or whatever, right? So you have the process, the general, the simplified, and then the anatomic. Now this is going to be the anatomic shapes. Go ahead and get that over there. Anatomic shapes. Now the anatomic shapes are the shapes that are going to be specific to whatever the hell it is that you're drawing, right? And so in this case, we're drawing that face. We're drawing a face of somebody, okay? So an anatomic shape is going to be how the nose goes, how the eye goes, the eye shape, how the brow, how the lips are shaped, how the chin is shaped, how the side of the cheek is shaped, how the ear is shaped. We refine the shapes from the simplified facets over here to the more anatomic shapes over here. So they start to begin to look like what it is that we're drawing. In this case, it's a human head, okay? That's just the side of the head. So we got the neck, so on and so forth. So then it starts to look more and more like the person's face, okay? That's all you have to do. It's easy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do that, but with something completely not like a human head, like an insect head, okay? So this is where we kind of get fun and we use our imagination, because maybe we memorized all of these up here, but now we want to draw something else in 3D space. So we're going to go ahead and pick out this insect, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same idea. We're going to start with the box, okay? See that right there? We're going to start with the box just like we did before. And all we're going to do is draw boxes where we think the eyes are going to go and where we think the projection or prognostication of whatever the hell this is in the front, like his mouth or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know insect stuff. But you know what? The great thing is you don't need to know insect stuff. All you need to do is build it. Okay? And once you know that you're building it with blocks, then that's all you're doing. It becomes very simple. And the blocks themselves, the cubes, take care of the perspective for you. So you don't have to worry about perspective. Okay? It makes it very, very easy. Okay? And also you can refine it as you go along, which is what we're going to do. Okay? So now we got the box up here, like you can see it right here. Now we're going to put in the facets. So, facets of the eye. Maybe we make that eye more of a compound eye, and I'm going to make it look like a stop sign, right? So that's the facets that we're going to use right here. So there you go. It looks like an octagon right there. And then that's how we get the perspective right, okay? Very simple, all right? Now we're going to go ahead and put the back of his head in. Maybe it's a she. I don't know. I didn't ask, okay? Put the neck in there. Put the mandible. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called the mandible, okay? We'll just call it that, all right? We come down here. Here's the rest of the mouth, so on and so forth. And then maybe it has a big fang sticking out. Of course it has to have a big fang, right? And there's the rest of the mouth, maybe. Right? There you go. So now we have what looks like some sort of ant or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a ant. Maybe it's a praying mantis. Probably more like an ant. But I don't think ants look like that. It's just some generic insect. Maybe it's an insect alien from another world, so you don't have to worry about being accurate. Okay? That's how we're going to do it. All right, now we're going to move on to the anatomic shapes, okay? So we have our box, we laid in our box and all that good stuff. We have our simple facets right here. Now we're just going to go ahead inside of that box, lay in our anatomical shapes, okay? So we got an eye right here. All right, we have his snout or his coming out. Maybe he has some teeth in here. So we're just going to put those teeth like so. All right. Then we have his huge mandible down here. We have his bottom of his mouth. And maybe he has teeth down here too. But we use the cube to show us the angles and the perspective that the smaller details are going to require in order to fit into our picture. And that's how we do it, okay? So then he's got that mandible right there. He's got the big old mandible because he eats a lot, right? Then we have, I don't know, the thing that holds his eye. We're going to go ahead and call that like his eye socket, and then it comes down to his lower jaw or whatever. Then we got his head, comes all the way back here like that. Then he probably has some sort of antenna thing going on up here. Like so. You know, maybe he's going to have one on the other side too. And then there you go. Maybe he has a neck right here. We can refine the shapes of the neck. But we use the position and the proportion over here to get what we want, okay? Now you can start to see how we can continue to add details. Maybe he's got some hair. Maybe he's got some hair on the back. Maybe he's got, you know, some structure inside of his antennas. You know, maybe his eyes are like compound eyes when they're like thousands of little eyes in there. We don't know. Maybe he's got just terrible breath in here. Maybe that's his secret maneuvers. He's got awful breath. He's got coffee breath. That's how he kills people. I don't know. But see, that's very easily, very quickly. I mean, we did that in about, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes, man. And we built up our regular face up here, and then we built up our little insect face down there. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and you can take the medium marker and come in here and give them some line weight, okay? And the line weight is going to help dictate what's important in our image, okay? So we're going to give some of these volumes a thicker line weight, and then he's going to take on more of a meaty appearance, like a more of a substantial appearance. And that's what line weight does. Line weight is a representation of shading. It's a simplification of it, of shading to give volume. And that's what we're doing right here, okay? We're going to give some volume, maybe some more hair, maybe some, I don't know, you know, maybe he has a mustache, okay? Maybe he's French, okay? Put a little mustache in there, you know, put a little bit of a dark right there, and then there you go. See, now we have our little alien insect. And that's how we do it, people. Easy peasy. Now I want you to go out there and I want you to work on this process. Make any kind of head you want. Make some, maybe some insect heads, maybe some alien heads, maybe some normal heads. I don't know, but make any kind of heads you want, but go through this process. First lay in your box so you get your proportion and your location correct. Then try to break down the facets, okay? Now you can grab other ideas out there from books or online. I download stuff all the time from every artist that I can come across that makes good stuff on X, and go ahead and do that. And then I use it and I say, okay, well, how does he make that? How does he make that? Or maybe I see some drawing videos or something, but then how does he do that, okay? And it's a process, but this is the process, okay? This is the process. You go from the box to the simple facets to the anatomical shapes, okay? That's how you do it, all right? So take that magic and go out into the world and do some damage. Let's go, come on.